もし母なる星ガイアが本当に生きている生命体であると、描くかによって現実のガイアの未来が決まってくるのではないだろうか。そんな思いから映画「ガイアシンフォニー」は1989年に撮影を開始しました。92年に上映が始まった第1番では、密猟で親を殺された小僧を育て野生に返す活動を続けるダフニー・シェルドリック。一粒の種から1万5000個も実のなるトマトの巨木を育てた野沢茂雄。無酸素単独で世界の8000メートル級の山すべてを登り尽くしたラインホルト・メスナー。アポロ9号の宇宙飛行士ラッセル・シュワイカートらが人間の心の無限の可能性と母なる星ガイアへの感謝の思いを語ります。
I'm quite optimistic.
94年に完成した第2番ではノーベル平和賞受賞者ダライラマ法王、60年代から地球外知的生命を探し続けるフランク・ドレーク、素潜り潜水105メートルという記録を持つジャック・マイオール、おむすび一つで大勢の人を癒してきた佐藤初目。国籍も生き方も違う4人の言葉が私たちに大きな勇気と希望を与えてくれました。
固く握らないで股間が呼吸できるようにね。
第3番は撮影開始直前に写真家星野道夫が熊に襲われて亡くなるという苦難の旅立ちになりました。一切の近代技術に頼らず5000キロの海を古代カヌーで渡ったナイノア・トンプソン。フリーマン・ダイソンは今世紀最大の宇宙物理学者です。
Yes, I think that it is quite reasonable to believe that the universe has a mind, which people may call God.
母なる星ガイアは38億年の歳月をかけて私たち人類のような想像力を持つ存在をこの世に生み出しました。しかし私たちはその想像力を自分だけのために使い、ガイアとの絆を断ち切り、その命さえ危うくしています。ガイアシンフォニーの出演者たちが幾同音に言う言葉があります。それは耐え難い苦しみや困難に直面した時、それを不幸とは捉えず心に描いたビジョンに向かってさらに一歩を踏み出した時、思いがけない未来が開けてくるということです。私たちの中には生命誕生以来の38億年の記憶が眠っています。今私たち一人一人に求められているのは、その記憶を取り戻し、与えられた想像力によって母なる星ガイアとの新たな絆を築くことです。ガイアシンフォニーはそのことを世界各地から優しく語りかける映画です。
As a human being and as an originator of the idea of Gaia, I cannot but believe that we do have a role in this great system of the world. And the one thing I take most comfort from is the thought that through our eyes, our planet has seen how incredibly beautiful she really is.
子供もちょっと落ち着いてこの10代。
出ていっていいのかな。うん。もういいの。よいしょ。はい、おはようございます。
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. I will speak in Japanese. Please forgive me, because my English is not good enough to make this kind of presentation. ということで、日本語でやります。
And now I would like to speak in Japanese. Thank you very much.
この映画はガイア・シンフォニー
This movie is called the Gaia Symphony.
1989年に第1番として
In 1989, we began filming the first movie,
91年に
and in 1991,
完成していた
the first movie was completed.
それから1年間
However, for 1 year,
のお蔵入りって
for 1 year, it was put in storage. We had no opportunity to screen the movie. We did various press conferences, but nobody wanted to take our movie.
こういう映画に
And the reason for this was because they felt that no one would come to this kind of movie. And therefore, the theater chain would make a loss. And therefore, we were not able to air for a year.
ある東京の小さな映画館
However, one day, a small theater in Tokyo said that they wouldn't mind screening the movie, and it was a capacity of about 80 people. And I was very happy about this. However, the conditions was that I had to buy 3,000 tickets in advance.
で先に買い取ったら2週間
If I purchased this in advance, then we would be able to screen for 2 weeks. That was the condition. However, our independent production company has only 4 people, and therefore we had no money to purchase these tickets. And therefore, we did everything we could to sell these 3,000 tickets. I hadn't even been to my reunion, but I went to all of my reunions and sold the tickets. And therefore, we successfully were able to open our movie. The first 2 to 3 days, there were a lot of people. However, all of them were people who had purchased the pre-purchased tickets.
ところが1週間後半ぐらいから
However, in the latter half of the first week, a special phenomenon happened. People who had bought the tickets the day of showed up. And after this 1 week, most of the people who had showed up had bought the tickets on the day.
前売りにはたくさん売ったのに2日間最初
I had sold so many tickets.
400かなと思っていたら
I had sold so many tickets, but only those people showed up in 2 to 3 days, in the first 2 to 3 days. However, now people started lining up to purchase the tickets, and after the 1 week, this situation occurred. And when we only had 3 days left of the screening,
400人のお客さんたち
the 400 to 500 people who had bought the advance purchase tickets showed up again. However, the people who wanted to buy the tickets the day of had already bought the tickets and entered the theater. And so the people who had advance purchased the tickets couldn't get in, and the theater had to send them back. And when they realized this, the theater decided that in 1 month they would rescreen the movie. And in the first 2 weeks, there wasn't even a poster for our movie, and we had no money either, and therefore we couldn't make our poster. However, in the second screening, there is a poster that said, "A miraculous movie, Gaia Symphony,
凱旋公演
triumphant performance."
これが最初に使う
And this was the start of our symphony. And after that, there was not a lot. There was not a lot of screenings that took place in the regional cities, and they were starting to grow impatient. However, we didn't have the capacity to film in these regional areas. And therefore, these people in the regional areas, regular people, decided to organize a screening group by themselves. This happened naturally.
で、その方たちのおかげで
And thanks to these people, when there was one screening, then 2 to 3 more people who attended that screening would want to sponsor a screening.
儲けてやろうとした上映会は大抵が失敗する。ところが素人でやられたところが
Usually, these screenings fail. However, with regular people doing it, this was extremely successful. And we had a lot of money coming in. And there were people who went to go drink, or there were some people who went to support the next screening. And this is how we have come about to the current situation where we have had 2.3 million people viewing the movie series from the first movie to the sixth movie. And people who don't know the movie really do not know the movie at all. We actually didn't send out a lot of information regarding this movie. The people who went to view the movie told the people who told their friends, telling them that they wanted to recommend the movie. When people recommend movies, it is really difficult to explain what this movie is about. Often people ask, what is this movie about? And the response to that, and people talk about the Gaia philosophy, and the answer, and then the response seems to be that it is a difficult movie to understand. And then people think about, how should we explain this? And then people ask, what kind of actress is in the movie? And the response is, there are no actors, but there are elephants. There are also tomatoes. And therefore, what happens at the end of the day? And even if people talk to each other, you can't really understand what the movie is about. And therefore, you can't explain it on an information base. However, those people who are pushing for this movie really want the other people to see this movie. And through that passion, people go and see the movie. And this is how this movie has continued. And we have completed up to number 7. Symphony number 7 will be screened in the near future. This is a joke. However, Beethoven completed to the 5th symphony. However, I've completed to the 7th symphony. Thank you very much.